The FDNY is giving an update on the multi-bus crash at the Port Authority bus terminal this morning. Let's listen in.
At 6:05 this morning, we received a call for 2 New Jersey Transit buses that collided on a ramp at the Port Authority. We had a total of 12 patients. 1 patient had moderate injuries and required extrication. 10 patients with minor injuries. They were all transported to local area hospitals. 1 patient refused medical aid on scene.
So I'm trying to understand, when you say required extrication, like how bad was the collision that they had to be extricated? They were stuck in the bus?
Yes,
Was necessary?
it required some extrication, meaning they had to use equipment in order to free the patient.
So that part of the bus was crushed where they were sitting?
1 bus made contact with the rear of the other bus. Yes.
How many of these incidents happen? Just that? How often?
I couldn't tell you exactly how many. We do get motor vehicle accidents every day, and we do have bus incidences on a regular basis.
Do you have an estimate for how many people were on board both buses? Were they full? Were they packed for the morning commute?
We had 3 patients on 1 bus, and the remaining patients were on the other bus.
And those buses, were they full?
They were not full. They were not full to capacity.
Was there any like fuel leakage or potential fire hazards or other concerns caused by the crash?
That would have you'd have to take that up with the Port Authority. It was located on the 4th level, ramps going into the Port Authority.
What about the drivers of the buses? What's their conditions? Were either of them hurt?
We can't give specifics on the injuries, just that one of them did have moderate injuries.
And will you be investigating? Was there like a medical episode or something with one of the drivers or any concern, or they'll be evaluated?
They'll be evaluated at the hospital.
How difficult was this rescue given where the buses were?
We initially had some difficulty getting up the ramp because it backed traffic up behind it.
Right.
But we worked with the Port Authority police to open up the exit ramp so that we could go up the wrong way and get our ambulances up there.
And so now buses are arriving normally as the scene gets cleared? We heard departures aren't happening right now?
Port Authority is working to clear the vehicles.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And we're continuing our coverage with Derek Waller now, who was able to get inside Port Authority earlier. Derek, what can you tell us from what you saw?
Cindy, good morning to you. We're standing on the backside of Port Authority bus terminal on 9th Avenue at 40th Street. And if you look up, you can actually see that closest inbound ramp there, those buses that are parked there, those were the buses that were involved in this accident at 6:05 this morning. And as you just heard in that press conference, the Port Authority is working right now to try and get those buses removed so they can reopen that lane of traffic. We do have another live camera from Mobile 2, which is actually parked across the street from us, and you can actually see the ramp above this one that's closed, and the bus is actually moving. So there is traffic that is moving in and out of Port Authority bus terminal right now, but certainly there are delays, and we have heard that from passengers. As you mentioned, we do have some video we did shoot a little earlier from inside the terminal where you can actually see how those 2 buses that were just mentioned in that press conference collided. And we did just learn that there were 12 people injured, non-life-threatening injuries, including 1 person who required extrication. FDNY firefighters actually had to use tools to remove that person, so unclear exactly the extent of that person's injuries, but again, all the injuries considered non-life-threatening. Again, this happened at 6:05 this morning. There were delays because of this, but we did speak to a woman this morning who said her bus was actually only delayed about 15 minutes, so that's a little bit of good news. Again, if you want to come back out here live, and again, you can see how those buses on that lower ramp there are still parked there. And again, the Port Authority says they're working to try and get those removed. We also heard from FDNY saying they had some difficulty getting up there at first because, of course, during rush hour, all of those ramps are in use. So they actually had to close the outbound ramp to get that ambulance up there to help out those patients. But again, 12 people treated with non-life-threatening injuries. Reporting live here outside the Port Authority bus terminal in Hell's Kitchen, Derek Waller, CBS News, New York.
Derek, thank you.